Hello, this is Ambion of Ambion Spirit Gems and Readings, and this is Lesson 2 for you in a course on crystals. So in Lesson 1, we spent some time with geology, and I hope now you have an appreciation for all of the energy that goes into the formation of stones and minerals, crystals, and rocks in planet Earth. Also, we talked about how the geometric shape of certain crystals, can enhance or add to their innate properties. All of this is so important when starting out using crystals in your metaphysical works. Now today I'm going to talk a little bit about chakras. Now chakras are energy centers located in the body that have been recognized in non-Western cultures for centuries. And we're going to talk about how different stones and minerals and crystals connect with and enhance those different energy centers. Now, it isn't just non-Western culture that has recognized that there are energy centers associated with feelings or emotions or the soul. In Western culture, we recognize it as well. We've recognized for centuries that feelings of love or passion come from the heart area of the body. We recognize that thought or intuition comes from the mind or the brain area. Have you ever had a gut feeling? All of these phrases just represent how we can innately recognize that there are energetic centers in our body that hold certain emotions, feelings, even the seed of the soul. So now let's talk about just what the chakras are and how light energy, when broken down into its individual wavelengths, creates the exact combination of colors that have been recognized as the chakras. So you may be asking yourself, this is a course on crystals. Why are we talking about light and wavelengths? Well, there's an interesting correlation between how natural sunlight or white light, when placed through a prism, breaks down into the exact 7 colors associated with the chakras. One way to remember the wavelengths or the order of the chakras is through the mnemonic Roy G. Biv. Starting with red at the root or the base chakra, it's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And it's also interesting that when we talk about light energy or light workers or white light work, how that white light is composed of various wavelengths that when separated create the colors of the rainbow that are associated with the colors of the chakras. So you may be asking yourself, why do I need to know about this chakra stuff? Well, I think it's important that you understand your energetic centers and the energetic centers of others, because the point of all of this is to use these stones and crystals to enhance your metaphysical practices. And we all know that the subconscious mind or superconscious mind or your intuitive mind is something that you need to access through your conscious mind. And one of the ways to do that is by recognizing the energy centers of the body, notably the brow or third eye chakra and the crown chakra. Those are the energy centers that open us up to our clairs, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, whatever those may be. Also, if you're interested in using stones and crystals for medicine work, the chakras are often an important place to start. So, let me talk about some particular stones and crystals that are associated with the 7 chakras. This may be a place where you decide to start your collection. Also, I'll talk about some places where you can obtain your collection and specimens, some tools you might want to have on hand for examining them, and then we'll wrap up Lesson 2. So here we go, the chakras. Here's a diagram that illustrates the 7 energy centers and where they're located in the body. Starting at the base or root chakra, that represented by the color red, we have the area that is connected to our ability to have basic trust, stability, grounding, and also thought to be the area of our motivation for prosperity. The next chakra is the sacral chakra, or the orange color. It is responsible for our sexuality, pleasure, desire, and creativity. Next is the solar plexus, represented by the color yellow. And this is our area of personal power, vitality, our direction, and sense of self-esteem. Next, we have the heart chakra, represented by the color green. And this is where we feel our love, compassion, altruism, and healing. Next, lighter blue is the throat chakra, and this is where we find communication, also creativity, and our ability to connect and resonate with others. Next is our third eye chakra, and this is our center of awareness, intuition, perception, and imagination. Finally, we have the crown chakra, and this is our area of spirituality, intelligence, thoughtfulness. These 7 chakras, or energy centers, are very important in your understanding of the metaphysical arts. So now I'm going to spend some time showing you some photographs of groups of stones that could represent or connect to each of those energetic centers. After I show you these photographs and talk about each of the stones briefly, then I'm going to come back on video and show you many stones individually and tell you about their metaphysical meanings. So this might be a time where you want to get pen and paper. So here we go. We're going to start talking about groups of stones that represent energy centers or chakras. And then following that, we're going to talk about metaphysical meanings of individual stones related to each chakra center. Here are 5 stones that could connect to or represent that root chakra or red energy center. On the upper left, we have mahogany obsidian. On the upper right, we have aragonite. In the center, we have jasper, red jasper. Bottom left, we have red calcite. And bottom right, we have a banded agate. Our next group of stones represents the sacral chakra, or the orange energy center of the body. Here on the upper left, we have citrine. Then next to it, a gold stone. Upper right, we have sunstone. Bottom left, carnelian. And bottom right, a red tiger eye. This next grouping of yellow stones represents the solar plexus chakra. Upper left, we have yellow topaz. Next to it, we have yellow jasper. And on the far right, we have a desert rose, which is a type of selenite. On the bottom left, we have golden tiger eye. And on the bottom right, we have citrine again, as it can represent either the sacral or the solar plexus chakras. Here we have 6 stones that can represent the green energy center or the heart chakra area. Upper left, we have malachite. Next to it, we have green aventurine. And on upper right, we have a jade. On the lower left, we have a raw emerald crystal, then a bloodstone, and finally, on the lower right, a moss agate. Our next grouping of stones are for the throat chakra area, or that first blue area of the rainbow. Upper left, we have a blue lace agate. Next to it, beautiful blue lapis lazuli. On the upper right, we have sodalite. On the bottom left, we have turquoise, and on the bottom right, we have larimer. These 6 stones all can represent the brow, or the third eye chakra center of intuition. On the upper left, we have fluorite. Next to it, we have, again, lapis lazuli, and to the far right, the large stone, is a labradorite. On the far left, we have blue quartz, also called dumortierite. In the center, a moonstone, and below that, blue tiger eye, that opens our mind and gives us clarity of thought. And representing our last chakra, or crown chakra, that indigo area or bright white light area of energy, we have clear quartz crystal, deep purple iolite, again fluorite to the far left, white quartz or king quartz in the center, and an amethyst crystal on the bottom right. So those were a lot of stones to get to know. But we have to start your collection somewhere, and starting with connecting to the chakra seems as good a place as any. Some of the things I'd like to just touch on before I jump into talking about the metaphysical properties of specific stones are some of the resources that you could have in your library to help you on this journey. Probably one of the very first books I had, and one that I still use a lot and just enjoy so much, is the late Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Crystal, Gem, and Metal Magic. Now, it's been through various revisions and has been reproduced multiple times. I believe it's still available, but just one of the just really great first works that breaks things down. He has some great historical information in here. He has some great folklore, as well as talking about the metaphysical properties of various stones and metals. Doesn't have everything in it because it's a shorter book, but just a really great read. The next book I have here is one that a lot of folks have in their collections. This is a more recent creation, and this is the Crystal Bible by Judy Hall. Now, this may not be a book you would read cover to cover, but it's a fantastic resource. You can find things alphabetically. There's wonderful photographs, and she breaks down the history, the metaphysical properties, the medicine work properties, and all the informations about the various stones and crystals. Now, she's went on to create an even more recent book, the Encyclopedia of Crystals, again by Judy Hall. And this is, again, great pictures, short, easy, concise descriptions. Again, maybe not a book that would be, one you would sit down and read cover to cover, but a fabulous reference material to have in your library. Now, some other books that I've had over the years, it may give you some information about use, especially if you're into the Wicca arts or other kinds of magical practices. I like Ginevra Dunwich's book. There's just a lot of ways on cleansing, how to use things as talisman or amulets, and there's also information about individual stones in here. It is black and white. It doesn't have photographs, but it does have some really useful information in it. Another book, again, about crystal properties and usage, is a DJ Conway book on crystal enchantments. This is, again, more of a use book. There are sections in it that tell you about specific metaphysical properties of specific stones, but it does talk about cleansing, charging, creating stone combinations, and lots of other practices with stones. And then the final book I want to show you, and I probably think that this is the most exhaustive text on the metaphysical properties and uses of stones, is the Love is in the Earth by Melody series. The first volume is about 3 inches thick, and she's went on to publish other volumes as she has learned more and added more stones and crystals to her collections. Probably one of the biggest reference materials you could have on your shelf. It's in print still. I think there's either 3 or 4 volumes currently, and just an amazing body of work. So those are some references for you. The other thing, and I've mentioned this in some of my YouTube videos, but I'm going to come back to it, is back to that identification. Remember all that geology that we learned? Make sure you have a nice bright light source and a magnifying glass or some sort of magnifying instrument. So when you're out there purchasing your stones, getting to know your stones that you've already purchased, you can really magnify, you can see the crystalline structures, you can see the geometric structures, and you can appreciate the colors, the inclusions, and all the stuff that's going on with them. A nice bright light source and a magnifying glass. Also, I recommend getting an ultraviolet light for identification, but that's another topic for another day. All right, so I'm going to take a deep breath right now, and we're going to get started learning metaphysical meanings of stones. I'll just give you this brief caveat. These are the meanings and the metaphysical representation that these stones have taken for me over the years. Yes, I have used a lot of resources to get to know the metaphysical properties, from Scott Cunningham and Judy Hall and all the other places that I have researched. But a lot of what I have come by are how I've used these stones in the practice of divination or in readings. So, if my meaning that I'm going to share with you differs from how you feel, that's okay. As you handle your stones, as you work with them, you'll become more attuned to the metaphysical meaning for you. So let me start at that root chakra and work my way up. Pen and pencil in hand. Or it's a video, you can stop and restart it, right? Whenever you want. But here we go. Root chakra, that base level, the red colors. Here we go. So the first stone I'm going to show you here is that red jasper. Red jasper is connected to the root chakra. It's also highly protective and is one of the stones that's said to return negativity back to the origin or back to the sender. Also, it's a stone of injustice. I often see this come up in readings when there's been some sort of injustice done to someone and a wrong will be righted, and that is red jasper. The next root chakra stone I'm going to talk to you about is mahogany obsidian. Now we know from our last lesson that obsidian is an igneous rock that was formed by the cooling of magma on the Earth's crust. Mahogany obsidian is obsidian with red inclusions, and it is all about your spiritual journey. Again, the root chakra, so think of things that are the basis of your being, about grounding, about balance. And this is about you finding what you need to focus on to enhance, amplify, and continue on your spiritual journey. It's like getting to the root of the spiritual matter. The last stone I'm going to show you from that root chakra energy area is the banded agate. Now this stone isn't necessarily red. This is actually a very basic brown and white or brown and ivory banded agate. And agates come in many colors. But this basic variety of banded agate is connected to the root chakra because it's all about grounding, balance, connecting to your root, connecting to your center, finding that calm place where you can connect to the earth, to the physical environment around you, and to yourself, your inner self. And that is the banded agate, one of my favorite stones. So now we're going to go up to the next center, which is that sacral chakra, the color orange. So citrine's going to come up a couple times. I'll only talk about it once, but citrine can be used both for that sacral area or the next level up, the yellow area, or the solar plexus chakra. Now, citrine is connected to abundance and is sometimes called the money stone or the business stone because it's highly connected to prosperity and success. It's also one of the stones that does not require cleansing, and we're going to talk about cleansing and charging in the next video. But it's one of the stones that does not require cleansing. It stays energetically positive and is thought to keep the stones around it cleansed as well. So prosperity, abundance, positive manifestations, and does not require cleansing, and that is citrine. The next kind of sacral chakra stone is the red calcite. Red could also be connected to the root chakra. it does have a fairly basic meaning, a fairly base meaning, and that is to renew your zest for life, to motivate yourself, and to know that there is so much to learn, so much to experience, and so much going on. It helps to remove stagnant energy. Red carnelian, which actually has a spectrum of color from a very deep red up to a very light orange. But carnelian has everything to do with courage and leadership and strength. And then lastly, for that sacral chakra area, I have goldstone. Now, goldstone is a man-made stone. However, it has some really great metaphysical properties and meanings. It has everything to do with physical vitality, vigor, and if you're in any kind of competition, it's a wonderful positive omen for winning. So that was the orange chakra, or the sacral chakra center. Now we're going to move up to that yellow chakra, or that solar plexus chakra area. So the first, and I think one of the most important stones to have in your collection, is golden tiger eye. This stone is protective, it gives you courage, it gives you confidence, it strengthens your convictions, and it's connected to prosperity and money luck. Golden tiger eye, just a super powerful stone. The next stone I have here is in the jasper family. This is yellow jasper. Yellow jasper is about fighting procrastination and reminds us that life is about lifelong learning. It also helps to nip petty gossip in the bud, but it's really about motivating, energizing, and fighting procrastination. The last stone that I have for that solar plexus area isn't necessarily yellow, but has often been associated with it, and that is this particular type of selenite called the desert rose. Desert rose selenite has all the properties of selenite, which is very cleansing, it removes negativity. But one of the interesting things about desert rose selenite is its connection to self-esteem, about who you are, about knowing who you are, knowing your power. And also, Native Americans used to believe that each desert rose was the spirit of a departed ancestor. Desert rose selenite. The next chakra center is the heart chakra, or the green colored chakra center. Now, I showed you green stones in the photograph earlier, but the pink stones are also connected to the heart chakra. So here I have malachite, again, connected to the heart chakra, but it's all about connecting, about bridging gaps, about repairing broken connections, perhaps broken relationships. But it's really about connecting to your psychic vision, connecting to one another, connecting to your energy, building those bridges between the conscious and the subconscious, and that connection to the heart chakra. That's malachite, a really powerful stone. The next stone I have here is green jade, prized in the Orient for hundreds, if not thousands of years, and it has a connection to making your dreams come true, about abundance, about prosperity, and also is connected to an eternal youth of body and mind. Jade, highly connected to good luck as well. The final stone I have here in the green's heart center is green adventuring. And green adventuring comes in a very light to very dark green. It has these inclusions of pyrite or fool's gold in it that gives it a little shine. It is connected to the heart chakra, but is also closely connected to abundance and prosperity. Now, I said that the pink stones also have a connection to the heart chakra. So I'm going to talk about the metaphysical meaning of these four stones right now. This is rose quartz, lepidolite, rhodonite, and rhodochrosite. Rose quartz is the stone of love, about self-love, love for all living things, love for one another, romantic love, love in our family. When you see it come up in readings or you have it in your environment, it's all about activating and connecting you to feelings of love. Lepidolite is about healing emotional turmoil. Actually, the next three stones, and the next two particular, and a little bit rhodonite, are all about helping to heal our hearts. So lepidolite, high in lithium, is all about healing us from emotional turmoil, finding the ability to regain trust in ourselves and others. And so I call it the stone of healing a broken heart. The next stone is rhodochrosite. It is pink and white in color, and it is about filling our hearts with that gentle, compassionate love. It's not necessarily about romantic love, and it is about healing the heart, but it is about finding compassion and forgiveness for yourself and others. The last stone here in that kind of pink category is actually pink and black, and this is rhodonite. I always say it's a very direct stone. It really is about having that conversation with yourself and that meditated conversation with yourself and your heart chakra about what am I looking for in my relationships? What do I deserve? How do I want to be treated? Who do I want to be in the relationships that I'm in? Very direct and very soul searching is rhodonite. It also gives us the power of discernment. So if we are recovering from a broken heart or a relationship where we lost trust, it helps us to regain trust in ourselves and others. It gives us the power to discern who to trust and perhaps who not to trust. And that's rhodonite. And those are the pink stones that are connected to the heart chakra and relationships and love as well. The next group of stones, we're going to go up here, and this is that blue center or the lighter blue area that darkens as we go up and then finishes with that bright white light at the crown. So this area is the throat chakra, which has everything to do with communication and also creativity. And the stones that I have here connected to that are blue lace agate. Blue lace agate is all about peace and calm. It is a fantastic stone for helping us to deal with stress, take away anxiety, and take away worry. Sodalite is a blue and white stone, and it is often called the communicator's stone or the writer's stone because it helps us to find the words. It helps us to speak our truth, whether that be verbally or in written form. But it is a stone of eloquence, of speaking. And in readings, I'll often tell people when this shows up that it's about speaking your own truth and not letting someone else speak it for you. I have here lapis lazuli. Similar chemical composition to sodalite, but it's considered a rock because it's a combination of the mineral of sodalite and pyrite or fool's gold. So you'll see those gold flecks or inclusions in it. It is all about connecting to ancestors and our spiritual journey. It's said to help us to connect to our spirit guides. It has a long association with ancient Egypt. So a lot of times I'll say that in readings for people and they'll be, oh my gosh, I dream about ancient Egypt, or I've been interested in ancient Egypt and Egyptian religions my whole life. Lapis lazuli could represent that, but it also connects to ancient ancestors, to spirit guides, to our spirit journey, and also giving us kind of access to that sage wisdom. And that's lapis lazuli. It's a really powerful stone. Finally, here I have a piece of turquoise. Now, turquoise has been used by Native American and shamanic energy for centuries, and it is a super powerful stone. It is great for achieving balance in your life. So if you feel out of balance, work life, work family, whatever it is, this stone, meditating with it, working through it, helps to really achieve balance. Also, sacred energy, healing energy, prosperity. It is kind of all things positive, and that's turquoise. So that's that throat chakra, or that first blue center. As we work up, it goes blue, indigo, violet. Again, lapis lazuli can be used for that brow chakra, but some of the stones that I think about are amethyst, fluorite, blue tiger eye, and my favorite for this area is labradorite. So let me talk about amethyst. Now, amethyst can be both the brow chakra or the crown chakra. So I have it 2 times here. And same with fluorite. Fluorite, particularly this purple and green variety, because fluorite does come in other colors, is great for the brow and the crown chakra. But let me talk about amethyst a little bit. We could talk all day about amethyst, essentially, because there are pages and pages of information, historical, folklore, the use of it in multiple cultures, been around and been kind of venerated and really enjoyed by people for a very long time because of its beautiful purple color. Now, it has been associated with the third eye, opening your intuition, and is also an amazing stone for meditation. And I'm going to talk more about meditation in future videos because I believe meditation is super important for you to connect not only just with stones and crystals, but to help to connect to your metaphysical self. But anyway, back to amethyst. It's a wonderful aid in meditation. It connects you to your intuition. It helps to connect the mind, the body, and the spirit. And it really is all about that brow chakra, that seeing, that psychic vision, the clairs, and opening all of those things and giving you access to all of those things. The other interesting thing about amethyst from a physical standpoint, it is said to be a detoxifier. And in ancient Greece, they used to believe that if you wore amethyst, it would prevent you from becoming drunk. Kind of cool, huh? But it can act as an emotional detoxifier as well. So if you suffer from any kind of toxic emotions or you feel that there's any toxic or negative energy attached to your aura, amethyst can be extremely helpful. Now, another stone associated with that crown that brow or third eye area is fluorite. And fluorite is a purifier. Really helpful in medicine work and in metaphysical healing. It calms the brain. So again, that area here connected to that brow chakra calms the brain, clears confusion. It's also been associated with learning. So they call it the genius stone sometimes. So if you're studying something or wanting to learn something or you have a test coming up, something like that, fluorite is said to be very helpful for that as well. Blue tiger eye has all the wonderful attributes of tiger eye with courage and protection. But again, this area, mental clarity, it helps you to uncover things that you may not even be aware of. Maybe past events in your life, memories, something to help you get that mental clarity and uncover things you might need to work on to open your third eye. It's a really powerful meditation stone as well. Labradorite. This labradorite palm stone is very special to me. I use this particular stone when I do readings. I actually hold it to my third eye because it really, and again, it's just a rock, but it's kind of that association I have with it that helps me to have that mental clarity, that connection to my intuition. Labradorite, this beautiful, it just has that beautiful translucence to it. Labradorite is just fantastic. I call it the highly intuitive stone. It gives us access to mystical. It acts as a barrier in the mystical plane as well, so it can provide protection as we, sometimes you might say, travel in the astral or reconnect or connect intuitively. It provides that protective force as well. But highly intuitive, it is highly connected to spirit guides and connecting to Akashic records or your superconscious mind. It is just a wonderful stone for your third eye. And then lastly, I have clear quartz crystal, again amethyst, which I've already talked about, and I'd like to talk briefly about the moonstone as well. Moonstone I've seen associated with the brow chakra, I've seen associated with the throat chakra, I've seen it associated with the crown. Because moonstone is a translucent stone. It has that same kind of translucence or fire that you see here in the labradorite, and it's kind of opalescent. It has the blues and the greens and the inclusions that give it that shine. So it can represent several areas. It's been used in love and protection magic for centuries. It's connected to the moon. It's connected to psychic vision, feminine energy, and balancing cycles. As we know, the moon is responsible for the tides coming in and out. Moonstone has that metaphysical quality of helping to balance rhythms and cycles. So I'm going to end with the magic stone, or the clear quartz crystal. If you're going to start your collection out with something, start out with your very first clear quartz crystal. We all have tons of them around. They're beautiful. They're pretty readily available, and they are the magic stone. They are said to amplify the metaphysical properties and energies of any surrounding stones or any metaphysical work that you're involved in. It's also called the keeper of memories, and so it's said to have kind of that magic of the ages. It's the stone of the light worker. It's about sharing your energy, sharing your light, and opening yourself up to spirituality. So that was a lot of information in a short period of time. And again, that's the beauty of you having this video link. You can come back and watch this at any time. In future videos, I am going to talk about my combination of stones I have in my reading bag and give you access to the metaphysical meanings of all 67 stones that I have in my metaphysical bag, as well as information on how to read stones. But in the next video, we're going to talk a little more about the areas of our life that stones represent and cleansing and charging stones for your metaphysical practices. So have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.